play video games in my free time, so I'd be considered a gamer. It's the thing I found both the most frustration and the most enjoyment out of.
I have social anxiety, and that's what helps me kind of calm down a lot. It's more of a stress reliever more than anything, depending on what game you play. Some games, however, just increase that stress, but hey, that's just what happens.
I have a lot of other things to do, so I don't always get a chance to play video games.
Playing video games too much can negatively affect you and negatively affect your personal life and your social life. I don't like violent games or games that like make women look bad, which is a lot of video games.
It's great for critical thinking, obviously reaction times.
I also do realize that it can help with like cognitive like speed and like things like that.
I feel like it's a great way to connect to people. If you use it correctly, it's a great way to connect with the world and with people. And I think that's something everybody needs.
Yeah, we like video games. And it's kind of fun because everybody likes different ones. And so when you play together,
I like
it's...
pinball.
Oh yeah, pinball's pretty fun. It's kind of fun because you'll have one person that's kind of like dominant in that, and it just kind of creates a battle through everybody.
You got to strike a balance with it, or it can consume your entire life. Especially when you're, young, and you got the new flashy thing, and it's just, that's all you want to do. But there has to be some limits.
The things that drive me the most crazy is having to call him back in, put away his backpack, or his shoes, or his dishes in the sink. That's something that's probably our biggest thing on almost everything, don't you think? Probably, right? Or when I say, turn it off, because your time's up, right? And he goes, I am. 10 minutes later, turn it off. But I am. Hold on. And then he starts to get grouchy about it.
I either zone out and I don't even realize what I'm doing.
Yeah? Really?
I do that all the time when I'm playing Minecraft.
Really? Oh, that's kind of interesting. I didn't know that. They'll sit there and they'll sit right next to each other. Like when you and Ian sit there and Ian will be playing and you just sit there and watch him, and I say, why don't you guys play together? Why don't you guys play together?
Well, because being the youngest, I've always grown up watching other people play. I usually just yell at the game a little bit and try to do it again.
That was one thing that I used to make him turn it off for, is that he would get super controlling and wouldn't let Ian play his own game. And Cameron used to do that to him a lot. She'd be like, wait, Chase, wait, you have to go here, you have to do this, you have to do that, or whatever, and would kind of control their game. And so I used to kick you guys off. You can't just take away the console, you have to hide it. And then the game is you could have it back when you could find it. I'm a huge reader, so all the kids are big readers. So we do a lot of reading. So I feel like they're pretty well balanced. We may play a lot of games, like I play a lot of games, kids play a lot of games, but they also do a whole bunch of stuff outside, they read a whole bunch, so you don't ever feel like it's like really taking over. As long as they were splitting their time, like inside, outside, and it wasn't like, there was a couple of times where Jake and Tuck would hole up in there when something new came out, and you were like, go outside, see
like,
the sun.
Go take a shower, eat, and then go outside.
They like games that they play with other people, and it teaches them problem-solving skills with their friends. It's kind of good to watch them talk about it and figure things out without always fighting. Like every once in a while they get really mad and there'll be like a huge fight and they end up putting the whole thing away. We're not playing that or whatever. But then they'll turn around the next time and at the same spot have the same problem and turn around and work through the whole thing. It is.
You ever seen, like Shaun of the Dead? You ever seen that movie? At the end when they're playing video games and the guy's like, and he's like, no biting. But they're both like, You know, whole family's zombied out. I'm all right.
Whatever.
I'll find my own dinner.
I think overall, video games are negative, and that's my opinion, and my husband does not agree with that, and he wants our kids to play video games, and I do not. So that's something that we're going to have to address one day when we do have kids. But I think it is an important discussion to have.
It depends to the extent that you play video games. Like if you're playing them every day and you have to play them or else you're not okay, I think that's when they become an issue and they kind of start taking over.
Yeah, I would say we have problems with them playing too much. But usually I can get them to do other things if I talk to them about the effects of video gaming too long.
When it's a battle, it doesn't end, it just continues. I don't know that anybody wins it, it just goes on.
If you use it as a coping mechanism, it's fine, but if once that coping mechanism turns into an escape where you start disconnecting from school, from people, that's when it becomes unhealthy. That's when it's a negative influence, just like with anything.
So the negative effect I see is like they don't want to read, or they don't want to do their homework, or they don't want to do their chores, or anything that doesn't sound as fun as and appealing as a video game, right? So I think they have a harder time fulfilling the responsibilities that you want them to do as a parent, that you know in the long run is going to help them.
It's kind of a bit of an ongoing struggle over to game or not to game, and what's the best way to do it.
I think that some parents just don't understand or try and force their kid into something that they want rather than letting them take part in something that they themselves enjoy.
It says right there, KO's him, and I know how KO'd you. Okay, now hurry. Oh, there I am. Yay. That's just a no. Get him, Kirby. I ain't any more. Battle. Spam. I don't know what that's so bad. I'm just doing a bunch of buttons. Burn my belly. Belly can't take my Kirby has my uncle. Bye. Yeah, I already gonna let finally.
Spence, what are you playing?
Just a war game.
What's it called?
Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Ah, jeez. Frick. Hit the. Ha! Got him!
I tend to not like these games as much. I guess they're called first-person shooters. To me, they're pointless. But I appreciate the art that goes into making a video game. It takes a lot of time. There's animation. There's all this stuff that goes into it. I really have like a group of kids that don't waste a lot of time on video games. But if I ask them to quit and help me out with something, then it's not a problem. Can you come help me clean the bathroom?
Yeah, in a sec.
I can't say that I'm one of those moms that's aggravated by video games because they come along at just the right time. I work nights, so I get very little sleep. So sometimes they're honestly a little bit of a babysitter.
Gaming has always been in my life. I used to go to arcades. I mean, I'm 47 years old, so I remember going to arcades. The Atari 2600 was revolutionary. I think the only time it ever gets turned off is when, like, whatever's going on screen starts happening in the house. Like, a couple of them start going after each other. That's probably when it's like, all right, cool. It's cool. Batman punches Catwoman in the mouth, but you can't roll over and pop your sister one. So we're gonna take a break. You know what I mean? So.
If I play a game, I would like it to be something where we can all play. I make sure that they've played outside. I make sure that homework is done. I make sure that I don't need anything else from them.
Gaming's not a negative thing as long as it's rounded out and there's an understanding that it's a form of escapism and entertainment, but not dependency. So.
And it affects different people in different ways. For some people, it's just a hobby or something to do to fill time. For someone like Spencer, he actually has ADHD, and so for someone like that, it can be very addicting. It can almost be, that kind of thing. So we really try with Spencer to kind of balance out his day, you know, but he, again, is very willing to limit his time. He's an active kid.
And he doesn't rage quit.
No. And so it's just interesting because raising kids these days with so many more options and things like that is really challenging.
You know, I never was any good at. How come I can't hit the ball?
I don't think anyone's too old to play them. I think if you like it and it appeals to you, you should be able to play them.
Well, we're not doing too good here. Sorry, ladies.
I actually think it'd probably be good for us as we get older to keep playing them a little bit. Because I don't play them because I'm bad at them. And I get frustrated.
Probably never. There's times when I sit down and I just need to unwind and clear my head. I'll play games on my phone or my iPad. So I see there's a place for them.
I'll never be too old to play video games. Nope, never. I don't think so. I'll probably love them my whole life.
I will never be too old to play video games.
Yeah, seeing as you're playing Area 51.
I know, right? I rocket that. High score. Ooh. When it's not fun anymore. That's the only thing is it's still fun. And so if it's not fun, like if the games come out and suck or whatever, then maybe you'll stop. But I don't know that you would be too old.
Never.
I'll never never have a desire to stop playing video games. I'll never want to stop playing video games. Once you learn that, you don't need a high level of physical ability. Like if people get old and start being able to play normal sports, but with video games you just have to have the mental capacity.
Oh, you lose. Well, I think we've seen that I'm not exactly pro level.